because they knew if they want to reach to the globe, if you they want to reach to the people of the world, if they want to make themselves easily accessible to the world community, especially during the sports events of uh, China Olympics, English is imperative, English is necessary. If the Chinese people can do, don't we? Why can't we? And that is why globalization has helped us to improve our English. I am sure many of us nowadays crave for moving to abroad, especially in European countries. And in that case, one has to go through a series of tests which are conducted in English. There are exclusive um, examinations and tests if you want to go to abroad. If you go through these tests successfully, then only you are allowed to go. So globalization has helped us a great deal. In a way, I may repeat for your information, print media and electronic media, they are very much part and parcel of our country. Large scale gadgets which you keep in your pockets. Nowadays, you can also keep the internet facility in your pockets. This has helped us a great deal. Many of the students of humanities also use internet every now and that is why they in a way improve their English through these gadgets, sports and films, seminars, conferences, workshops, and so many courses, not by only universities, but there are other institutions also which offer us the courses in English. And I'm sure many of you use this facility and pursue some courses offered by universities and other institutions, private institutions, and globalization. My next point is, what is imperative today? If I want to improve my English, grammar is there. I may go for so many things. I have got so many things, so many tools. I have got so many friends who interact in English. I have got so many large scale facilities of latest tools. But what next? What is important? If I can keep them in safe, you think it will improve my English? No. So what is imperative? What is necessary today to improve my English is, number one, channelize our efforts for improvement of English. When I talk about improvement of English, naturally I mean the skills, basic language skills, and developing these skills, that is listening, reading, writing. So they are very much part of English language or any language. I must take care that I have got so many things. I can use mobile phones, I can use internet, I can send messages through emails. I use English, but what I should take care is I must improve my English. Instead of using the typical language of SMS, why not go for the correct and correct language in every respect, that is in terms of spellings and grammar. I use these tools. Instead of writing GN, that is good night, why not go for the full form of that particular concept, good night, and I write the full spelling. Instead of like LYK, which we write during sending the SMS, why not I use the original spelling LIKE? Very often what happens is, the language of SMS also figures in your papers and it creates a very bad impact. It creates a very bad impression. Very often students, you lose marks. Very often the examiners feel uncomfortable. Okay, if it is once or two times, then it is bearable. But in the paper you find plenty of words recurring like this, and the SMS language is there. Mind well, friends, it is because of the apparatuses you are using, but the English you use in them is not the standard English. So when you are writing the paper, you must take care that I am not writing the email. You are not sending any message through your mobile phone. So what I do is, or what I am supposed to do is, I must not use the language of SMS. though it is English, I must use standard English. So what is important? I use internet, I use blog, I use Twitter, I chat on Facebook, I use Wikipedia, I use so many things, mobile phone. I go for English movies. But the language you use there is not very often very standard. You cannot imitate the same language presentation, spellings and grammar when you are writing your paper. In ordinary life, someone may take it easy and someone feel comfortable. But when it is official, when you are doing a job, you cannot use this type of concepts or this type of language. So what I can do is I can channelize my energies, I can channelize my powers, I can channelize my potentialities which I have acquired through these gadgets, through internet, and I may use them in improving my basic English language skills, and it will certainly help you friends. Next is utilize our resources for the improvement of English. I talked about so many things, so many tools, so many gadgets. We every now and then use most of them. But I think we must take more care so that we can use them in a proper way. Now, why not think that you write the email? When you use SMS in your mobile, you have got a limited space. We are always in a hurry to send a message. So what you do is you write GN instead of good night. You write dear BF or dear GF, and dear is DR, BF is boyfriend. So in mobile phone you have got little space and time. So what you do is you write in a short form which is not standard English. But now let us turn to emails where you have no restrictions of time and space. What you can do is instead of writing this SMS English, why not go for the original text of to original writing, correct spelling and correct grammar. Try. It may take some of your more time, but it will certainly help you a great deal. My friends, I would wish that now instead of using the SMS language in your blog or in your email or in your Facebook chats, let us try. Let us go for the good and standard English in terms of every respect. What you are required to do is take a little bit care and you can improve your English certainly. Next is, which is very important also, constant self practice and interactions. If I use so many tools and if you fail to convey the message or message is conveyed in quite opposite way which you don't intend to say, then it will not help you friends. What is expected, you go on practicing things, practicing in every respect. You listen to the English news, for example, you go on reading English newspapers, you go on reading English magazines, you go on reading English journals, and if you feel uncomfortable at this moment, I assure you friends, after several days, after several weeks maybe, you will certainly feel very comfortable, and you will certainly feel that yes, you can follow each word, you can follow each article which is in English. The problem starts now. If I start now, you feel that you are not very comfortable in English, so you feel that is starting point of problem. But equally important is, it is the starting point of solving your problem. So if I want to solve my problem in English, I should start now. Though I feel very problematic, I must start it. If I want to learn swimming, I should jump into the water body. If I go to the terrace and try to learn swimming, I won't succeed in any case. For that I have to jump into the deep waters only, and then only I can learn. Same is the case in English. If I want to improve my English, I would like to use my apparatus in a proper way. If I would go on using the SMS language throughout my official communication, I think I'm doing a wrong job. So what I can do is I may go on practicing of you may practice writing clearly, writing correctly in every respect, and you may have interactions in English with your friends, with your seniors, with your family members, with your teachers, with the resource persons you have got, and even programs like this. It is also interactive. So I would be happy to answer some of your questions in terms of the limitations of time. So why not use this? Make your practice interactive. First go for self practice, go on reading. Reading aloud is also very important. Go on reading aloud, and always opt for the interactive so that you get response. You find where I am committing my error when I use English. So these are some of the points. And next is positive attitude. This is true not only in terms of improving my English, but in our real life. Positive attitude plays a vital role. Very often psychologists say that if a glass has water only half of the level, the person with a negative attitude will say the glass is half empty. It is only full up to the 50% of its capacity. But a man with positive attitude would say it is full up to its 50% capacity. It is full, but half of it only. In terms of presentation, both mean the same thing. One would say it is half empty, the other would say half full. There is no change in the quantity of the water body in the glass, but the difference is in terms of presentation. Why not go for the positive things? What I have, I would use everything in the fullest of its capacity. I would make the best effort given any circumstances. I would face and I would challenge the problems, and I would overcome the problems. That is the positive attitude, and it is purely mental game. And next, if I go for the positive attitude, I will certainly be very confident. Friends, all these terms, all these steps are equally very important, not only for the improvement of English, but if you want to write your papers. Some of you are appearing to the examinations which are conducted by the universities. All these steps are very important, and you may follow these steps. Of course, these are only some of the specimens, some of the examples, and there are plenty of other steps which you may go for. The last point I talked about is development of confidence. If I lack confidence, I would not succeed in any field. If I am poor in English, then I may always feel that no, I cannot do this thing. Instead of that, why not try? Okay, I'll manage, and I'll acquire the language skills. I'll develop myself, I'll improve myself, and you may think of presenting all topics in English if you have got confidence. But for confidence, the earlier steps are very important. If you are confident, you can come across any challenge and you may succeed. So these are some of the friends. And next, because we are talking about the journey of English language, but this is not limited to the language of English. It is true in any field of our human world. Journey of English is journey of Sanskrit language also. Journey of English is the journey of any other language of the world. But what is the precondition? The journey of language has to be unending. It must have no end. It has no final destination. It must not have the full stop. Why? If the language is to survive. It is commonly known that some of the languages of Africa, they no longer exist today. Why? Because it never went for an unending journey. It did not change itself to the needs of the day. It did not change itself to meet the challenges of the globalized world. so it went to the extinction. Many more languages are on the verge of extinction, but this is not the case with the language of English. As I showed you earlier when I started this talk, I talked about the English of Geoffrey Chaucer, the father of modern English poetry, and I came down through so many poets to the language which is the latest language of SMS. It has gone through vast change. It is because the English language has made itself very flexible to suit the needs of the day. It has incorporated so many words all across the globe. In every corner, you will find English is being used. It has become accessible to most of us because it has got that type of flexibility. So, it has tended to accept words from other languages. It has tried it keenness to accept so many concepts also from the other languages. Acronyms, for example, are very much part of English language, which we seldom find in most other languages. So it has gone on changing because of this, and the journey is still on. It is never ending journey. And the last is the journey of English language is still on and has no final destination. That is why it has gone on changing, it has gone on developing, it has gone on reaching to the masses, it has gone on reaching to the kids and elderly people, and we feel very comfortable when we use English. Friends, I have tried to present this scenario of English of past and present through this series of lectures at Bisect, and I have tried to show how it has gone on changing, how it has developed, and how the process is still on. I am sure, friends, you might have enjoyed this talk. I have got my email for you in the slide. You can check that. Hope I am very much confident that you have liked my presentations. I would be